For an overreaction, it's time to sound the alarms. The Cavaliers beat the 76ers tonight. Cleveland remains a half game behind the Celtics for the best record in the East. That's after Boston edged the Magic by 1. The Cavaliers had lost their previous 3 games before this. LeBron James said the Cavs were in a bad spot after Thursday's loss to the Bulls. Do you think the Cavs were facing a must-win situation, or are you calling that an overreaction?
Tonight?
Yeah.
It's an overreaction. It is. Because the reality is, the definition of must win is, and we fudge it a lot when a team is down, 3-0, or I'm sorry, 2-0. And we're like, yeah, they don't have to win, but they really can't go down 3-0. By definition, a must win, you win or your season's over. Are we crazy enough to think that the Cavs can't make another championship run from a 2 spot in the East? Because they can. It certainly would help their case to have home court advantage throughout the entire Eastern Conference playoffs. It certainly would help their case to get back to another NBA Finals, which would be 7 straight for LeBron, if they don't have to go through Washington. But in Toronto, they go through Toronto, who they've owned. And as a 1 seed, they're more likely to wind up playing the Raptors in the second round than the Wizards. But it's not like they're scared of the Wizards. It's not like they can't beat the Wizards. It's not like they can't win a Game 7 or Games 1 and 2 on the road in Boston if the C's wind up being the number 1 seed. So this was not this is an overreaction. This was not a must-win for them tonight. Now, me saying that, you just keep mounting the pressure on the champs. If they lose tonight, with the terrible March they've been in, with the, so-so January they played, with everything kind of feeling so unlike them, this would have just shoveled more on top of it. But it still wouldn't be must-win. So I think it is an overreaction to say that tonight's game at the end of March is a must-win, when the reality, they could lose tonight and still get the 1 seed. They could still win the championship from a 2 seed. So it's not must-win. But I think for the psyche of them, for the way as media and NBA fans we look at them, it goes a long way to kind of put the malaise of those previous games behind them.
So we know how their past few months have gone, not so great. But when you look ahead to April, their next 5 games on Sunday, they have the Pacers, Tuesday the Magic, then they have the Celtics and the Hawks. Yeah. These are pretty winnable games. I mean, the Celtics going to be a tough test
But they want the Celtics. You want to play that team that you're in direct competition with, especially they've got to make up some ground right now. With the Celtics win tonight and the Cavs win tonight, they're still in second place. The only way you can leapfrog, it's not in their hands right now. And the only way they could flip the script is by hoping for some Celtics losses. Well, they have direct control over one of those games. And even though that game is in Boston, that's going to be a huge one. Yeah. Circle that one. That is going to be a huge game. And that, I think, will certainly feel like a playoff game, and with playoff intensity from both sides. From the Celtics, who are looking to kind of stiff arm and keep the Cavs at bay and keep them remaining in the number 2 spot. And for the Cavs, I think if they want to flip the script and take the number 1 seed back, ensuring home court advantage throughout the Eastern Conference playoffs, that's a big one. They're going to have to win those games. They're going to have to win that game. But, there's some other ones on there as well that you mentioned that are definitely winnable. Magic, you should win. You should win that one. The Hawks are totally out of sorts right now, and Cleveland has owned that series. A lot of winnable games. I personally think the Cavs retake the 1 seed, enter the playoffs as the number 1 spot in the Eastern Conference.
You don't think you don't have any concerns as far as mentally going forward with these bugaboos that they've had in the past?
I don't, because it feels like at one point or another over the last 2 seasons, the full seasons that LeBron has been back with the Cavaliers, there's been something. Something has come up where you're like, ooh, Cavs don't see them themselves. Is there trouble? I mean, they fired their coach last year. In the middle of the year, there was a point at the firing of David Blatt, we all sat around and said, are they in trouble? What's going on? Not a lot of championship contending teams have to fire the coach midseason. And there they go, and they raise the banner with T. Lue. So it seems like each of these years has been something, because we want something. We want the drama. We want to attach. It's why reality television is popular, and sports proves to still be the best reality television we can watch. But eventually they're going to get to the playoffs, and all this will be in the past. And that first-round matchup, they're just going to blow out whoever it winds up being, whether it's the 7 or the 8 seed. That'll kind of be a get-right series, and then we'll kind of get into the nitty-gritty of, are they going to win yet another East, or will they be upset by a team like Boston or Washington?
And then that's when LeBron, we've seen it time and time again, really locks in and gets his team back on
track.
track.
No social media mode.
Oh, yeah.
Puts the phone away.
Serious.
Right.
Serious LeBron.